Your roadmap to the latest in auto. Welcome to Highway Herald. Today, we're steering into a high-octane shift in global energy that's sending ripples through the automotive and geopolitical world. While headlines focused on Canada's digital tax retreat, the real bombshell was LNG Canada's first-ever liquefied natural gas export to Asia. Years in the making, this move could redefine Canada's energy independence and reshape its role between the US and Asia. Buckle up, here's what's fueling the change. Number 5. Canada unplugs from US market control. For decades, Canada sent nearly all of its natural gas, about 8.8 billion cubic feet daily in 2024, straight to the US, creating a dependency that exposed it to American political shifts and tariff threats, especially under Trump's trade policies. But that changed with LNG Canada, a $40 billion project led by Shell and backed by major Asian partners like Petronas, Mitsubishi, and Kogas. On June 30, 2025, the Gaslog Glasgow departed from Kitimat, British Columbia, carrying Canada's first-ever LNG export to South Korea. This marked more than just a shipment. It was a strategic pivot. By exporting directly to Asia via Pacific routes, Canada cuts transit time in half and bypasses risky choke points like the Panama Canal and Strait of Hormuz. Moreover, Montney shale gas is cheaper than U.S. Henry Hub prices, giving Canada a strong economic edge. As Petronas Canada's CEO noted, West Coast LNG can outcompete any American development. In short, Canada isn't just diversifying, it's reshaping global energy dynamics. But building a global energy lifeline didn't happen overnight. It was the result of years of groundwork and partnerships. Number 4. A decade of engineering and collaboration pays off. Kitimat's rise as an LNG hub didn't happen overnight. It's the result of years of engineering, collaboration, and investment. Construction began in 2018 after Shell and its global partners greenlit the project. The Coastal GasLink pipeline, stretching 670 kilometers from British Columbia's Montney gas fields, feeds 2 LNG production units. Train 1 went live on June 22, 2025, with 6.5 million tons annual capacity. Train 2, set for late 2025, will double total output to 14 MTPA, making Canada the 8th largest LNG exporter by 2026. Beyond capacity, Kitimat stands out for Indigenous inclusion. The Haisla Nation played a central role, securing over $500 million in contracts, including a major deal for low-emission tugboats. At peak, the site employed over 9,000 workers and funneled $5.8 billion into British Columbia's local and Indigenous economies. It's a powerful example of economic reconciliation through industrial partnership. Now, Kitimat is sparking broader development. Projects like Woodfibre LNG and Cedar LNG are on track for 2027 to 2028, solidifying the region as Canada's West Coast LNG corridor. And with Canada's LNG engine now running, it couldn't have come at a better time, because Asia's energy needs are hitting overdrive. Before we delve deeper, we'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to Highway Herald. Your support fuels our passion to create more content like this. Number 3. Asia's power pivot. Canada arrives just in time. Asia is in the middle of a sweeping energy transition, and Canada's LNG debut is perfectly timed to meet that shift. Countries like Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan are urgently phasing out coal and distancing themselves from volatile Russian gas supplies. At the same time, the U.S. is pushing its LNG exports under a renewed Trump-era tariff regime, often with political expectations attached. In contrast, Canada offers something rare in today's geopolitical climate: a clean, reliable, and diplomatically neutral source of energy. The first shipment from Kitimat, aboard the Gaslog Glasgow, is bound for Incheon, South Korea, home base for Kogas, a founding partner in LNG Canada. Following closely are vessels like the Puteri Sejinjang and Diamond Gas Metropolis. By 2026, Kitimat is projected to handle 170 to 175 shipments per year, roughly one every other day. Canada's edge? Strategic Pacific access, shorter shipping times, cleaner Montney-sourced gas, and stable pricing, often half the cost of U.S. benchmarks. Add Ottawa's geopolitical steadiness, and Canada becomes a preferred energy partner across Asia's growing LNG demand. And while Asia's demand is roaring, Canada's own ambitions are revving up too, with a potential expansion already on the table. Number 2. Expansion gears up before the first tanker docks. Before the gaslog Glasgow even completed its first voyage, talks of Phase 2 were already heating up. If approved, this expansion would double LNG Canada's capacity from 14 to 28 million tons per year, pushing Canada into the top 5 global LNG exporters. The move aligns with Shell's broader plan to add 12 MTPA of LNG supply by 2030, with Kitimat as a key hub. Since much of the infrastructure is already in place, adding 2 more trains would be a strategic expansion, not a rebuild. Still, challenges remain. British Columbia's coastal construction is more expensive than U.S. Gulf builds, and BC's Clean BC environmental policies bring added regulatory costs. Investor nerves were briefly rattled by rumors of Petronas withdrawing, though the company quickly reaffirmed its commitment. According to LNG Canada CEO Chris Cooper, Phase 2 will proceed only if Phase 1 proves economically and logistically sound. If successful, the expansion would boost jobs, secure more Indigenous partnerships, and position Canada as a stable, long-term player in the global LNG market. All this isn't just about energy markets, it's changing Canada's geopolitical standing. Number 1. Canada's newfound energy clout. This isn't just about selling gas. It's about Canada redefining its geopolitical clout. For decades, nearly all of Canada's natural gas flowed south to the U.S., creating a dependency that weakened Ottawa's leverage in global negotiations. But the launch of LNG Canada marks a pivotal shift. Canada now has a direct, independent LNG route to Asia, giving it both market flexibility and diplomatic influence. This shift is already reshaping alliances. Japan, for instance, is torn between U.S. pressure to invest in American LNG and its growing reliance on Canadian supply. Canada's Pacific Access offers shorter routes, lower emissions, and fewer political strings, an irresistible combination. Prime Minister Mark Carney captured the moment, saying, "Canada has what the world needs." That means stable, ethical, and environmentally responsible energy from a country that genuinely includes Indigenous partners. Beyond Japan, Southeast Asian nations are actively seeking long-term LNG deals. Canada, with its infrastructure and credibility, is ready to lead. In this rare moment, energy becomes diplomacy, and LNG becomes Ottawa's newest tool of global soft power. And with Southeast Asia joining the buyer list, this is more than energy. It's diplomacy, leverage, and leadership. Final lap. Canada crosses the LNG starting line with purpose. Canada's LNG debut isn't just a shipment, it's a pivotal moment in the country's energy evolution. After decades of supplying the U.S., Canada is now asserting itself as a serious global LNG contender. It's proof of what's possible when industrial ambition meets environmental responsibility and Indigenous partnership. The road to Kitimat was long, but the destination marked a new opportunity. If Phase 2 advances and projects like Cedar LNG and Woodfibre LNG stay on course, Canada could secure a top spot among global LNG exporters. The infrastructure is ready, alliances are strong, and the geopolitical timing couldn't be more strategic. Now, it all depends on effective execution and political resolve. Now we turn to you. Can Canada maintain LNG momentum and rival major players? Will Ottawa withstand U.S. pressure and lead in Asia? How will energy policy shape the future of transportation? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts and takes in the comments section. If you found this video insightful, be sure to subscribe to Highway Herald for the latest vehicle updates and in-depth analyses. Thanks for watching and see you next time. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's more exciting and informative content waiting for you.